Good morning, folks. Dodge here. I'm on my way to the garage to tidy away my ski gear from the adventure the other day. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Before I go anywhere though, it's incredibly cold today. It's -1, so I'm just sitting here warming the car because look at the screen. It is rather icy here, and the paths and the roads are literally like ice. They are ice. So taking it a bit easy. Oh look, there's two people walking along with cups of coffee in their hand. By the way, that's the latest trend now. I've got a very rude word to call them, that they would be walking along with their there's another one with their capes, surf cape things. What are they called again? Can't remember. But they've always got to have a cup of coffee in their hand. Why can't they have the coffee before they set off, or when they get to the destination? Walking along with their hands up there, walking along. I don't know. Calm down. It's okay. So this vlogging thing is interesting because it's turning into people practicing talking to themselves, which is kind of strange because once upon a time people would think you're crazy if you do that sort of stuff. Years ago at work, this very dear friend of ours called Sonia, who was a quality manager and whatever else she did. But great girl. She goes, Dodge, you know, she says, one day she goes, you know, you're really odd. I said, oh son, I said, that's the kindest thing you've ever said to me. Thank you. Because I figured being odd means you're different. Well, I didn't really strive to be different, but I kind of am. And in reflection, on reflection, I am odd. I'm different. That's the thing, because I've got loads of things that I do, loads of interests, loads of hobbies, and I've got loads of friends, loads of groups of friends. Actually, that's the interesting thing about this, because it's a case of one of the things which makes people, I don't know, give them focus in life is hobbies and interests. But out of hobbies and interests, you get groups of people who are also interested in that particular interest, hobby. So I've got loads of different groups for the things I do. There's one for the motorcycling, there's one for the band, there's one for this project which I'm working on right now. There's also one for the climbing club called the Oneies. Now the Oneies, that's an interesting thing. I'll tell you a bit about that. Why it's interesting for today, because I'm going to clear away all the ski gear which we're using, so it's backcountry skiing. Anyway, the Oneies is a climbing club. It's been around since, I don't know, the 50s or something. And the Oneies is an area in Northumberland in the hills, which is there's a Oneies crag. There's a crag which is obviously the name the climbing club after climbing at Oneies crag. But the name's kind of formed from that, and it's been around for a long time. We've been there's guys who've been involved in the Oneies like since that time, really. And I've been involved for a long time, maybe 20 years, when I discovered outdoor stuff. And there's some more people with Dryrobes. Honestly, Tynemouth. So where we're at now is Tynemouth. I'm going to go. Why am I driving this garage? Yeah, pause on the Oneies bit. So I'm driving to Tynemouth because this is where we used to live. We lived here for all our lives, really. The final house we're in for 35 years until we moved down to where we're at right now. But I kept the garage here, and the garage is really our hobby area, hobby place, because it's like it's full of stuff, full of fun things and projects and stuff. And it was christened. Well, actually, I was christened Top of the Lane Dave by one of the pals I've got in the motorcycle group called Chad, and he called me Top of the Lane Dave because this is where the garage is. I'll show you when we get up. I'm just here now. And so I thought, well, that's a good name for it. Rather than call it the garage, go to the top of the lane. So it's now the top of the lane studios, and I'm just pulling up right now. So I'll park up and I'll take you through the doors into the top of the lane studios. Bear with me, Cora. So here we are at top of the lane studios. Just open the door. Alexa, turn the lights on, please. Thank you. Before putting all the stuff away, I just want to show you the inventory of what we took on the hill. We'll start at the top left and work back. So first of all, let's talk a bit about gloves. You can never have enough gloves. Start with these on the left. These are a pair of Scott, and by the way, I've had a lot of this gear for a long time. But I've got these gloves. That's one set of gloves from Scott. They've got the liners. You've got the internal mitts, which have got the ability to let your fingers out as well, which is really useful. And that all fits into the waterproof event, in this case, liners. And across here, mountain equipment. A really lovely pair of ski gloves, or mountain gloves, really just so general kind of mountaineering gloves. So good. So 2 to 3 sets of gloves, because they get wet, they get cold. I'll come to hot hands in a minute, because gloves sometimes aren't enough. We've then got, in the hat department, the hat which you saw in that video, it never took it off. It's mountain equipment. Covers your ears. It's like a headband with a hat attached. May not look the best, but it certainly works. And here is a lightweight, relatively thin balaclava. I've got a heavier duty one for real cold days. So that's them. These boots, which I've had for how many years? God knows. Long time. But these are really good. So these boots, I've used these to climb various different mountains. These are really my all-round boots, you know. They're great, comfortable, and when a pair of boots fit you and they're comfy, why change them? Then these are the actual ski mountaineering boots, which are absolutely unbelievably brilliant. I'm going to cover these in a minute when we talk about the skis. Moving on. Here we have the skins. I like Black Diamond equipment. It's great. It's a great brand. So these are the skins for the skis which you use for ascending. And here's some probes and a shovel. You think, what the heck do you need one of those for? Well, it turns out that Rod, who I went with, was caught in an avalanche in Cheviot a few years back. So you never tell. It's a case of, this is not the Alps, this is not the Arctic, it's the Cheviot, it's the hills, and you can die in an avalanche. So taking this stuff as a contingency makes a load of sense. Backpack, essential thing for any backpack is to have dual straps, so you attach skis to the side. For British mountain wear, I swear by this stuff called Paramo. Let's talk about Paramo for a minute. So a lot of people talk about Paramo and say, oh, it's that waterproof and this and that, and then Gore-Tex leaks. They don't know what they're talking about. There's needs for using Gore-Tex or equivalent event, absolutely. And there's needs for using the likes of Paramo. The reason why Paramo is different, it doesn't work on a membrane system like Gore-Tex does. It works whereby it passes water both ways deliberately, but it allows more of the moisture to go through. So when people say Gore-Tex leaks, it's not. It's because of sweating and the moisture can't escape. But in Paramo, it passes through from the inside out, as well as allowing some rain, big forceful droplets in through as well. But it works on this pump analogy, which is saying, you're in the rain, it's going to get kind of damp, you're going to be sweating anyway. Best have a situation where you can pump it out away from the skin. For British weather, I've used Paramo, and the gear I'm about to show you, I've had 25 years. So on here, you've got this, which is this kind of over jacket. Forgive me, I can't remember the names of these things. It compresses down to nothing. We've got some of the bags there from that. So that can live in the bag, in your bag. This is a Vela smock, and it works, as I mentioned, in terms of the way the material works. But what we've got here is vented sides, and also these sleeves can roll up and push up out the way if you're hot, but you don't want to take it off. In this version of it, they made the hood removable. I'm not kind of sure why they ever moved away from that. Sometimes it's a clot, you might lose it, you don't want the hood up, so you can just take it off and pack it away. But look at the material, that's 25 years old. It's just fine. And the pants, Paramo pants, here we go again. So the same kind of basis, same material. And these pants here have got the addition of like side vents. You can zip it from the bottom to top or top down. So again, with a set of lycra long pants on underneath as a base layering system, this is what we use for clothing. And I've got to say, gear wise, clothing wise, it was absolutely brilliant. Flexible, dry, warm, dependable. Okay, we're on. So here is a set of crampons. These aren't my main climbing crampons, they're just a cheap pair really, but they look like the Grivel crampons. They're not, they're Chinese equivalents, but these fit on those ski boots and also the regular boots as well. Essential hand warmers. You've got no idea how good these things are. Just stick them in a pair of mitts, leave them there, and they're there if you want them, or stick them in your pockets, whatever. A pair of specs, in this case like safety glasses, that's all they are. Essential head torch. You don't know when it's going to be dark. You've got to have light. Compass, whistle with a compass on. Some blister protection for your feet in case, and tapes for skis. You think, what do you need them for? Well, if these skis come off, and they can, and they do, and they did, and they can get buried, and you might not be able to find them. They did get buried. I could find them, but if you're in soft powder snow, the only thing you're going to find, you'll be lost without a ski on the hill, is that the tapes are attached to the ski and it goes into the snow. The tape will lay on the snow surface and you get it. So that's that. So let's talk about the skis. So these are Dynastar Verticals. They're a few years old. I got them, but I never actually got a chance to use them until this year. So last year, we fitted these bindings. So these are the new range of atomic pin bindings. Now, what happened was Dynafit had the patent for pin bindings for years, and then about 4 years ago, that patent was released, if you like, and so this became available for other brands to manufacture their equivalents of them, and these are the atomic ones, and they're taking the best of the Dynafit concept and they're putting their own flavour in it. So I'm not going to do it now, I'm going to change the camera position, but what we'll do is I'll take you through the whole thing around how these and those work together. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the skis, the bindings, and how that kind of works for backcountry skiing. So I've got these all laid out and I'll take you through each of these bits in turn. Okay, as I mentioned before, these are purpose-built cross-country skis. They're light, they're really light. There's no weight to them, so they're foam core, foam wood core. They're fairly narrow, these, which really for you know, the latest trends in big wide skis, I don't think you need them here. What you need to have is flexibility of transit, you know. But a good radius curve on them. Reasonable length. These are 162s. I'm 5'9" or so. It's all you need. It's all you need. You don't want heavy skis. You don't want big skis. But these bindings I'll take you through in a minute. These are the Dynafit backcountry ski boots. They're absolutely brilliant. I'll show you to how they're actually done it. But that's the ability to change from ski mode to walk mode. It's as simple as that. And then you've got these crampons, Hardschender, I can't remember what it's called in Austrian or German. And you need some of these straps. Tell you why in a minute. And then here are the skins. So the different modes of travel when it comes to cross-country skiing, you're either horizontally traveling across snow, you're starting to climb up snow, you climb it steeper up snow, and it turns to ice, So then you need to think about using crampons. We then reach the top or the next hill or whatever, and you want to go down again. We take the skins off. We change the bindings into downhill ski position. So I'm going to take you through each of those stages. So the first one is just basically flatland travel. So what we do is, first of all, where this ski binding, the pins are open there. We take the ski boot, and it's worthwhile practicing this before you get on the hill, because it's quite tricky at first. You press down with a toe up, and you'll see that the pins here in the warmth of the garage, it works fine. Try it in the snow and you can't see your boot or anything, it's tricky. So we'll then pull it up to the next position to have it in walk mode. So it secures it, so now it's locked in. These bindings, the toe bindings, like an alpine binding, will release, but they don't do a twist release on these. These are just a side impact. You'll see that when I come to the downhill ski mode. And combined with the fact that we're in walk mode, which we are here, the boot will go back and forwards and your heel will lift and go down. Now, when it starts to get steeper, you'll want to flip that forward and it gives it more of an angle. So that's to compensate for the incline. I'm going to take these out, press it down, take them out. Simple as that. So now, what we do is look at how to put skins on. So these are modern versions of skins, but effectively, if I push my hand that way, it grips. If I push that way, it slides. So here, you don't let the ski adhesive touch. There's a lot of stuff. I'll have to clean these later on, but this keeps it apart. So what you do, should have had that on the other side actually. But anyway, put that on. Put it in the front. Lay it out, and take off the backing. And start to place. These are from a different pair of skis that are kind of narrow, but it doesn't really matter, as long as the edges are still visible. But you could have slightly wider skins, really. But we then get the situation where it's ready to put on. Clip it on like that. Give it a rub down, and that's it done. So that goes like that, but it won't go back. Now, even on carpet, you can see it won't go back. So that gives you the ability to go steeper hills. Now, if we're in a situation that we're coming across actually ice on a vertical traverse, you've got these, which when the boot comes in and presses down, it'll grip even more. At this time, you'll probably want to take these off because they'll be coming off soon anyway. So that's that, and the way these work is just simply like that. They're really good. So we're now in uphill mode, and we'll talk about the technique about how that actually works, because it's different than regular skiing. So now we're in a situation of taking these lads off. So what we do, we peel them up, find a net. Try not to get touch the ground because they just get covered in stuff, you know. So we turn around like that. Oops. And roll them up. Keep them loose, not too tight. And if you're on the hill and you're going to use them again, stick them inside the jacket to keep them warm. It's another little tip. Anyway, so I'll put those back for now. We'll crack on with this bit. So we're now going to go into downhill mode. So what we do is a couple of things. We tighten our boot up, and now that's locked in. On these, that little yellow gold plate pops into that and locks the upper to the lower. But this here, with a wire system, depending on where you want to set for fit, will tighten that up, but also it'll tighten across the toes. All one cable. Really, really brilliant design. And again, always adjustable for different pressures, different foot size. But these, once you're on the mountain, you ain't going to take them off. So make sure they fit. These and this together. Absolutely just weightless, really. So back in the situation, I want to get back into downhill mode. So I'll press in, I'll leave it down, I won't lock it now. Is it fastened? Yes it is. I will have turned that round to that position, and I'll also release the brake. So the brake's there in case it goes downhill when you come off. Lock it in, brake comes up, and we're ready to go. And that won't move. It will come out sideways, that'll twist out sideways in a crash. And similarly, the front can come out so you're protected. And remember the thing about the tapes, if you had tapes in it, you're going real backcountry soft stuff, you put a roll of tapes up, stick them inside your trousers really. So if you come out, bam, the tape will go and you'll find the ski again. Because even on that ride the other day in Cheviot, snow was hard, it's easy to find, but the ski was buried when it came off once. So it's easy to burn. So that, guys, is that to get out. It's just as simple as that. And because we're going to pack these away now, our useful little tool here, which you don't forget, is a volley strap, which put away if you want. And that is that. Finally, another thing which I'm really lucky to have is the access to this storage space. But anyway, just quickly, it's a case of organise your stuff so you know where it is when you need to get it. However you do it, make sure it's organised. So I've got the benefit of having this kind of stuff, all boots, accessories for motorcycling, cycling, otherwise the rest of the stuff here, and I know where it is. So if I'm going down here, motorcycling cupboard, there's accessories, blah blah blah, summer winter suits. Down here we've got cycling gear for mountain biking, road cycling and otherwise. Across here, mountaineering stuff, lids, hats, harnesses, axes, boots, bags, various different clothing, camping, general outdoor. 1, 2, 3, all camping, bed rolls, hot tents, the whole lot. Ski bags, snowboard bags, various different travel bags and things like that. So I know where to get stuff. It took a lot of organising, but once I've got the stuff in place, when I need to get it, I just go and get it. So it saves you so much time. But when you push for time to get on a hill or do something, if you're rushing, you'll forget things. So word of caution. So that was a quick trip to the Top of the Lane studios to get a bit of detail about preparation for cross-country skiing. I hope you found it useful, and we'll see you on the next trip. Cheers, man.